Today I'm going to share with you 3 quick tips to silence that negative voice in your head. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel Beeswax and Blowtorches, where I teach you how to make art that makes you happy. Whether your art is writing, drawing, painting, cooking an amazing strawberry jam, or hosting a fabulous block party for your neighborhood, whatever form your art takes and whether or not you think you can do it, I'm here to teach you how. So this week I'm going to share with you 3 quick ways to silence that negative voice in your head that says, I can't. Because that voice is a liar. We all have that inner critic, don't we? That negative voice that just tells you you're not good enough, you don't know what you're doing, you have no talent, people are going to think you're silly or crazy or whatever that negative voice says. It thinks of all kinds of mean things to say to us. And one of the ways that I have really overcome that in the last couple of years is by telling myself, this is only an experiment. Think of it like those emergency broadcast system alerts where they say, this is a test of the emergency broadcast system. This is only a test. So when that negative voice crops up in your head, you reply back to it in your head or out loud or whatever level of crazy you're comfortable with. You just reply back to it and you say, I am not doing this wrong. It's only an experiment. This is only an experiment. There is no right or wrong. There is no talent or not talent. I am just playing with this to see what happens. That's tip number 1. Number 2, that negative voice in your head, it feeds off of attention. It feeds off of what other people will think. That's all it cares about. Will they think I'm silly for trying this? Do they think I don't have any talent? Will they think my art is ugly? Will they like it? Will they like me? That negative voice only cares about what other people think, and you can silence it almost immediately by making yourself one simple promise. You promise yourself, whatever you are working on, no one ever, and I mean no one, is ever going to see this. It's for your eyes only. That's tip number 2. Whatever art is in front of you, it is for your eyes only. You are never, ever going to show it to someone else. You can change your mind later, but for the process, while you are creating the art, it has to be for your eyes only. You can't be thinking about what you're doing if part of your brain is also at the same time thinking about what is somebody else going to think, are they going to like it? Your brain can't think about 2 things at once. It can't think about the art that you're making and what other people are going to think at the same time. You have to promise yourself, this is for my eyes only. No one else is ever going to see it. No one else is ever going to have the chance to think I'm silly or that my art is ugly. Once your art is finished, and you love it and you want to share it with people, you can change your mind and decide that you are going to share that piece of art with someone. But we're talking about for the process of making and creating the art while it is still under construction, you have to make yourself the promise that no one is ever going to see it, because it messes with your head if you're trying to think about what somebody's going to think and whether they're going to like it, and you're looking at the middle of the project or the beginning of the project and it's not going well and you can't see the end result yet. So you have to wait until you've seen the end result, and then you can choose whether you want to show it to somebody or not show it to somebody. You might want to just scrape it all off and start over again, and that's okay. But no one ever is going to see it unless you give them permission. The third way to silence that negative voice in your head is with the response, it's never a failure, it's only unfinished. The beginning of this video is a perfect example. I was trying to achieve one thing and it went horribly wrong. So if you go back to the beginning where this started and I was carving out some wax, I was sort of trying to create an island in the middle of the ocean. It went horribly wrong and it did not look good. But what I was telling myself while I was thinking about silencing this negative voice in my head, my art is never a failure. If I'm not happy with it, it's only unfinished. I can keep reworking it, I can add to it, I can take away, I could scrape the whole thing off and start over again if I really hate it. If it's an experiment, it's never a failure. If no one ever has to see it, it's never a failure. Your art is not finished until you're happy with it, until you're satisfied with the results. And if you are not satisfied with the results, it's not a failure. It's just not finished yet. So you can really silence that negative voice in your head with that reminder for yourself that it's never a failure. If you're not satisfied with it, it's just unfinished. Keep working. Walk away from it for a couple of days or a couple of weeks and come back to it, and you'll have a fresh perspective and you can keep working. Those are my 3 quick ways to silence that negative voice in your head. Number 1, it's only an experiment. You can't do it wrong. Number 2, it's for your eyes only. No one is ever going to see this. And number 3, it's never a failure. It's only unfinished. Before I give you my goofy bloopers, a couple of quick reminders. I'll be here next Friday sharing my secret trick to create art you love. I'll walk you through the process I use step by step. So subscribe to this channel, tap the notification bell, and you'll get alerted when that video is live for you. I've also got my resources and show notes included for you in the description box below. Make sure you go check those out. And now for my serious side.
Art.
That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? How to make art that makes you happy. Embrace imperfection. You can do it. Bye guys, see you next Friday.